Well, good morning. Happy Monday. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Marketing and Mindset with America's Supermom. I am so excited to be here with you guys. This is the last Monday in April. We are going to be headed to a new month just 7 days away. So I'm so excited. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use your story as your superpower. So, many of you guys may not know me, but I am known as America's Supermom. My husband and I have 15 children, and 10 of them still live at home. So I think I'm going to stop there because I'm going to dive into how we can use our story as our superpower. So I hope you guys are ready to take some notes. We are going to dive into this topic, and 20 minutes or so just seems like it's not enough time. So we're going to breeze through this really quickly on ways that we can use our story as our superpower. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some slides up, but I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments or reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you on how you can strategize and use your story as your superpower. So we are going to head over to these slides. All right. So the first thing is understanding that this can be a fresh start for you. This is the name that I have for a program that I use because I am a coach amongst all the other things that I do besides being a mom. I coach, I speak, I'm an author, um, podcast host, TV producer, all around mental wellness. So I have used this platform of using my own story for my career, so to speak. So the thing that I believe in is no excuses. We don't have time for excuses. So that is really what led me to coming up with something that I could use to really move forward in my journey. So, knowing that my journey began with hiding behind a smile, right? Now I use the smile as a way that I can daily check in with myself. But before, there were so many things that I covered up with a smile and makeup. So, as you can see, I dealt with feeling not enough, not appreciated, didn't feel valued. I had no personal dreams. I felt like I was just known as my husband's wife or any one of my kids, take a pick, their mother. It's like I didn't even have a name. It was just, oh, this is Jonathan's mom. This is Alexandria's mom. This is Elizabeth's mom, right? Not sure how to ask for help. I was an only child. So I had no siblings. And the whole dynamic of my kids fussing and arguing, I thought they didn't love each other, thought I was doing something wrong. So it's just a number of things that were going on in the background. Negative self talk, people pleasing, all these things were hidden behind the smile that looked to be like everything was okay. So within that smile was the 13 years of depression, which led to 3 hospitalizations. And so, what did I decide to do with that? After my last hospitalization, I began to change the story. I love quotes now. They really speak to me. Words are important. What you say, not only to others, but what you say to yourself. But read the book, The Four Agreements, during this journey of healing, is what I'll call it. And it really spoke to me in a great way to really kind of help me to understand what I wanted my story to look like and how I can continue to work that in a way that served me. So after that, I decided to uh, figure out how I wanted to show up. These are some of the things that I did initially, going to women's groups, speaking at different engagements, meeting connections on LinkedIn, and just different events that I was a part of. These were some of the things that were happening in real time, but I wanted to figure out how I wanted to show up. So I love this picture because have on two different outfits, right? It just, for me, signifies the dual responsibilities that I have. One side has an apron, the other one has a business suit. So it's the whole concept of, trying, working to be two people in one body, or dealing with the different responsibilities. And as you can see, the papers are all over the place, but inside the papers are pictures of some of my children that are not in the physical picture. So it's always juggling all these different things that may be going on in the background. But I decided with that I wanted to have natural hair, natural face, comfy shoes, comfy clothes, truth with no humor and no excuses. So for me, the comfy shoes is no heels. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to wear them ever, but I'm very comfortable wearing flats. And it's so funny because I'm only 5 foot. Natural face. I love being able to have natural beauty, and natural hair. So these things help me to show up regardless. Now, I'm not saying I won't ever do any chemicals or straighten my hair or anything like that, but this was really the criteria that I used to just get out there, to get in front of the camera, to start telling my story. So I wanted to have this baseline so that I could always be available to show up. That I wouldn't be feeling like, oh, I can't show up because I don't have my hair done, or I can't show up because I don't have my makeup on, right? I don't have the right outfit. I don't have heels. I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to show up consistently regardless of what was happening in the background. And so that is really the premise of my brand, is being able to be who I am, showing up regardless of what is happening in the background. So from this, I created a new mindset that I coined as Fresh Start. So this is me using that journey of depression and hospitalizations in a way that serves me and helps me to serve others. So the first element of this mindset of Fresh Start, I love acronyms, as you guys know. And so there are 5 components to the Fresh Start. The first one is using fear as fuel. Now, many of us know that fear is always with us. And if you don't believe me, just imagine yourself being at home alone and you hear a loud noise, or you hear something that sounds like a gunshot, that looks to be close by or sounds close by. We have a moment of fear. We have this adrenaline that is being released so that we can go into either flight or fight mode in order for us to stay alive. So we have this fear. However, I had to learn how to manage that in a way that served me, because for years with this time of depression, I had the fear, but it was on autopilot for survival mode. So for survival mode all the time is not the way that we conduct our lives. So from there, I figured out, what can I do with this fear and what can I control? So my thoughts, my behavior are the things that I can control. And so I had to understand, how can I manage that and navigate through that, because fear is always going to be with me. So I decided to make an acronym for fear so that I wouldn't shy away from it, but I would be embracing it. So the first thing is to focus on what I wanted. What was the outcome that I wanted to have regarding this fear? Okay. Um, did I want to move past it? Was I more concerned about the destination rather than the journey? I had to kind of make the best path so that I could focus and keep moving. I had to educate myself. So everything that I was trying or being a part of, I may not have known about, but I had to do my research to find out how I can continue to move forward. Who are the people I need to talk to, or different things like that. In addition to getting my research, I had to take action, right? So many of us read books, we tell it to other people, but we don't take action on the things that we're learning. But when we take action, we get some results. And from those results, we can ask different questions and figure out, What do I need to keep doing? What do I need to stop doing so that I can get closer to my end goal? Right. So breaking down that fear so that it serves you and you're able to determine how you're going to use that fear as fuel to give you momentum to keep going. The next thing is reframing your story. So, as you see here in the picture, that is a snapshot of the 13 of the 15 kids that my husband and I have. And that's one of my books, is being able to reframe that story and share it with other people, right? So, one of the questions I ask myself is how can I teach these lessons that I learned on my journey to others? And one way is by having a book. It's also speaking. It's also coaching, and just finding ways that I can host conversations about it so that people can begin to have a dialogue around some of these lessons so it can help them move forward. Now, reframing your story is so important because it definitely gives you the opportunity to learn from those lessons and see the positive in the journey. Now, we need to reframe the story because if we lock the story away, we put it in a closet where we don't want to remember it, it is really taking a part of who we are out of the picture. So when we reframe the story, we embrace our journey as a whole and we use those lessons to help us to move forward. Because if it wasn't for that past, that history, that trauma, or whatever we may have experienced, we wouldn't be the person that we are today. That part of our journey has helped formed us to be the person that we are today. And so it's so important to find a way to unify that with who you are now in a way that serves you so that you don't have a situation of losing time or allowing that past to be present in a way that's negative and prevents you from being all that you can be. So when you reframe it, you figure out what you can change and what you learned, right? So if I went through depression, I can't get that time back. Okay, it's already happened. I can't recreate it. However, if I don't get that to the point of understanding that it's in the past, then I could carry that into my present and future by saying, oh, I was depressed for 13 years. When am I going to get out of this? Why am I going to even have hope for anything? Because I was depressed for 13 years. If I keep bringing up that story in a way that's heavy, negative, doesn't serve me. It's like I haven't learned from it. It's like I'm still there. That can affect my future in the present that I'm living in. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. Then the next thing is envisioning your success. So I'm sorry that I have this my logo up there and it's hard to read some of the words. I forget about that when I'm making my slides. But envisioning your success. So the reality is, although you may have a new mindset about some of the things that have occurred to you, you still are in the presence of family and some people who might remember you with your old mindset. And it's hard for them to see you with your new mindset because they need an example. They need you to be different, talk different, and it takes the whole thing of being consistent with that. And that also takes time. Okay, so getting the opportunity to kind of have your vision in front of you, because sometimes your reality that you're actually dealing with may look a little different than what it is that you may be experiencing. So if you have a situation where you were a people pleaser, people were still going to see you as that people pleaser. So you have to have a way to kind of see yourself where you're headed, even though everybody else may not resonate with that, because that's going to be the thing that's going to give you strength to keep on staying focused on what your objective is, regardless of what's happening around you. So I have this picture here because I do have a dream. And my dream is to collaborate with Oprah Winfrey and Jimmy Fallon. I'm all about mental wellness, and I love being able to share my insights, strategies, tools, whatever I can with other women and moms, especially to help them to prevent the downfall that I had from them actually having that happen in their life. I can't get those 13 years back. I can't get that time back with those hospitalizations. However, I can take those lessons and I can give them to other people so that they can learn without having to experience the journey that I did. So when you're thinking about your uh, envisioning your success, what are some affirmations that possibly speak to you? What can be your action steps, with that vision that you see? One of the things that I do is I have a profile picture that is on another platform, social media platform called Clubhouse. And I have a picture of Oprah and Jimmy Fallon on my profile with me. So I keep them in front of me on a daily basis. I add them to some of my posts of content. They are listed at the end of my podcast on YouTube. They're the slides that do the closing remarks on the show. So, what are some habits that you want to create? You want to think about as you go about your action steps. What are some practical things that you can do in order to get you on that path? So if you want to drink more water, set a timer on your phone so that it goes off at certain times of the day. Say, hey, it's time for you to drink some water. Or you can even put prompts for positive mindset. Are you thinking about something positive? Say something right now that you're grateful for, whatever. Okay, you can put that on your phone to set it as a timer. So the next thing with the aspect of Fresh Start is your support group or tribe. Who has the experience with what you desire? Who can hold you accountable? Who inspires you to take action? Who supports your action steps? Right? So thinking about the people that lift you up, encourage you, they see your potential, and they challenge you to keep going in the future for bigger and brighter things. And so this is just a quick snapshot of a young lady, Jenny Stevens. She had her event, She's Empowered. And I was one of the speakers on that interview series. But connecting with people that, although her vision was to have an interview series, I was a part of that vision because I was able to speak about something that was near and dear to me, which is mental wellness, and sharing with other women ways that we can practically empower ourselves, by doing things, writing things down, right? Having a plan, having an accountability group, right? Taking 15 minutes a day to read a nonfiction book, whatever it takes, right? So some of these practical things, being able to share them on her platform, that's what I mean by support group and tribe. So this is really important because as you connect with that group and tribe, you're able to fill up your cup and continue to challenge yourself, even though you may be at home around the same family, the same friends that see you in your old mindset. So this gives you the ability to have a little bit of a balance because you're continuing to fill your cup up. So the things that they are looking to see from you, you're kind of moving beyond that. And you're understanding that you have to be the example and you're not looking for them to fill your cup up. You can get that from your support group or tribe. And then the last part is that healing lasts a lifetime. Consistency creates our example. So, just as I mentioned before, the more you consistently show up the way you want to in your situation, the more that that's going to be an example for everybody to see you with this new mindset and begin to believe that you are the new person that you are portraying. Patience creates our empathy. So if you think about being patient with the results, Understanding that although you are consistently practicing, it's going to be patience to see it happen for other people to kind of receive you being a different person. Love creates our compassion. So, loving ourselves and pouring from a full cup from our abundance allows us to have compassion for other people. Because if we're filled up, we're not having that judgment. We're not looking for other people to fill that void that normally might have been a part of us. But when we're full, we can be present fully when we interact with people and understand that whatever we lack, we can do that for ourselves and we can be there as a supporter for other people. Vulnerability creates humility. So, as we are vulnerable about our story, that is going to be the thing that's going to help us to connect and resonate with other people because people cannot identify celebrities and resonate with them. They just have this idea that, oh my gosh, they have everything worked out. But if they hear the quote unquote human side of things, the things that didn't work out so well, the struggles that they're having, they can resonate with that. And that allows them to feel connected and understand that if they can do it, then they should be able to do it, right? If these celebrities can do it and they can't overcame these struggles that are common that they're facing, that they can do it too. And then vision creates an action plan. So if you understand where you're headed, that's going to be the one key thing that's going to help you to stay focused on getting to that destination. So healing does last a lifetime. I definitely want to take the time to say thank you so much, guys, for thinking about what your superpower is. Finding a way to use your story and frame it so that it works for you instead of against you. Really being able to empower yourself to know the power that you have within and being able to share that with the world in a way that serves you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But until next time, have a wonderful rest of April, and I'll see you next month. Bye for now.